It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's the end of another week of Energy Express programming and time to go meet Miss Amie on her farm. Today we're going to talk all about cucumbers.
Hi friends, it's Miss Amie with West Virginia University Extension Service Family Nutrition Program. Welcome to Learn, Grow, Eat, Go. Today on the show, we're going to talk all about cucumbers. What area of my plate do you think cucumbers go into? That's right, cucumbers are a vegetable. Cucumbers provide our bodies with dietary fiber, which helps us stay regular and go to the bathroom, as well as potassium, which helps our muscles contract and move, and vitamin C, which helps us build a healthy immune system. So let's take a look at the cucumbers closer. On the outside, cucumbers are very smooth, and not all cucumbers are green. Sometimes cucumbers can be yellow. On the smooth surface, there's small bumps. And if you ever see smaller cucumbers with lots of bumps, those are made for pickles or pickling. Let's take a look inside the cucumber and see what it looks like. It smells very good. As soon as you start to slice it, you can smell it. On the inside, you'll see that it's lighter in color than the skin or the flesh, and it feels very wet. There are small seeds on the inside of our cucumber as well. Sometimes the seeds will get very big and the cucumber starts to taste a little sour, but this one looks perfect. Let's try a bite. That is very good, and it's very juicy. Cucumbers can be eaten raw, which is the healthiest way to eat a cucumber. Just make sure that you wash the outside of your produce before you eat it. Cucumbers can also be used to make dips, pickles, and a lot of other things. So we know that cucumbers can be found at our farmers market in the summer and the fall, and also at our grocery store. But how do they grow? Let's visit a farm together to see how cucumbers grow. So how do cucumbers grow? Let's take a look. Cucumbers like to grow and climb on things. They can't help themselves. It's in their nature. They grow as a vine. Cucumbers are what you would call a warm season crop. As cucumbers grow, they develop yellow flowers. The flowers become pollinated and they turn into the fruit, or as we know it, the cucumber on the plant. Cucumbers are picked when they are firm. When you go to select cucumbers at your local farmer's market, farm stand, or grocery store, you want to choose cucumbers that are green and are firm, have no soft spots or yellow color. You can refrigerate cucumbers up to 3 days. To prepare cucumbers, wash the skin thoroughly with a vegetable brush. They can be peeled before eaten, or you can leave the skin on. Cucumbers are best eaten raw, but some people use cucumbers to make pickles. Today for our story time, we're going to read The Reason for a Flower, a book about flowers, pollen, and seeds written by Ruth Heller. Birds and bees. And these. And these sip nectar from the flowers. And as they search more and more, pollen from the flower before goes to the next flower they explore. Some pollen travels in the breeze without the help of birds or bees, and very often makes you sneeze. From the anther on a stamen to a stigma on a style, pollen grains must travel and stay a little while, and then you'll see the reason. For each flower, even weeds. The reason for a flower is to manufacture seeds that have a cover of one kind or another. Some grow inside a juicy fruit, and it's not odd to find them growing in a pod. The largest one's a coconut. Seeds travel far and wide. Some even like to hitch a ride upon a bike or on a shoe. Squirrels hide them and forget they do. Some have burrs that stick to furs and travel at a gallop. Seeds can settle anywhere they find water, sun, and air, and then grows roots and stems and leaves. Some seeds grow up to be trees. These grow where it's very dry. And these grow where it's very wet. These may look like flowers, but they're the most important yet. Rice and barley, corn, and wheat are cereals we need to eat. Millet and bamboo are a treat for animals who don't like meat. They are called herbivores. Would you believe these plants eat meat? They are called carnivores. The largest flower ever found grows in the jungle near the ground, a parasite clinging tight to the roots of a tree that feed it. It's 3 feet wide or maybe 4, weighs 15 pounds and sometimes more, has a nasty odor. Rafflesia is its name. But here's a flower that owns its fame to smelling very sweet, and scientists agree that magnolia seem to be a prehistoric family. All flowers are angiosperm. That's an ancient Grecian term. Here are just a very few products made from them for you. Straw and wood, paper, candy, coffee, tea, cotton, popcorn, chocolate, pasta, perfume, rope, rubber, cork, medicine, and bread. Plants that have no flowers are fascinating too. This one has become a plum. The end. In order for your body to stay healthy, you have to keep moving. Get 60 minutes of exercise every day. Miss Shannon has a fun activity for us to try. Let's go check it out.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Shannon, and for today's physical activity, we're going to be talking about different physical activities we should be doing throughout the week. For our first physical activity, we're going to be talking about being sedentary. When we're sedentary, we're not moving much at all. We're sitting, maybe just playing some video games, and not really doing much at all. We should be doing that as little as possible. Next, we're going to be talking about cardiovascular exercise. Cardiovascular exercise is when our heart rate comes up. Your heart's a muscle, and it needs exercise just like your other muscles do. First, we're going to be doing some running in place. Let's get that heart rate up. Next, we're going to do some jumping jacks. Our next activity is squats. These are great for cardiovascular exercise and for strength training. Our next activity is we're going to be doing some high knees. That's it for cardiovascular. Now let's move on to strength training. We need to work out our muscles and our bones just as much as we do our heart. So for that, we're going to be doing a couple of different things. You're going to use 2 pool noodles and we're going to pretend these are weights. Let's exercise. Now we're going to do some bent over rows. Let's do some calf raises. Now we're going to do some lunges. Thanks, friends, for joining me for our physical activity today. Remember, be sedentary as little as possible. Do cardiovascular exercises 60 minutes each day, and try to get 2 to 3 days of strength training in each week. Have fun!
Hi friends, today for our activity, we are going to build a sunflower seed head. So I have in front of me a white piece of paper, green Play-Doh. You can use any color Play-Doh. I think the green shows up very nicely. Yellow petals that I've cut out of some yellow construction paper, and any type of seeds. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your Play-Doh onto your white piece of paper, put it towards the middle. Then, just like a sunflower has petals, you'll go around and stick your petals into your green Play-Doh. Now it's okay, you can fill it in any way that you want. It's one of the nice things about being unique with art is that it's your way. So there's the first step. Then with our seeds, you just come in and put your seeds, stick them into your Play-Doh as best as you can to represent the seeds that are found in the middle of the flower. So we know seeds help grow new plants, and that flowers make seeds and sometimes fruit. So get them all in there. A sunflower seed head is filled with hundreds of seeds. And when the sunflower is dried out, those seeds are ready to either be roasted and eaten or stored to grow new plants. If you're able to do this activity at home, have your parents take a photo and you can tag us on either Instagram or Facebook. Thanks for joining us today. Let's go visit Molly in the kitchen and learn how to make cucumber dip.
Hi, I'm Molly with West Virginia University Extension Family Nutrition Program, and today we're going to make a cucumber dip. It's always a good idea to wash your hands and your cooking surface before you get started with a recipe. I've already done that, so I'm ready to get going. Now for our cucumber dip, we took 1 cucumber and I peeled some of it, not all of it, because I want all that good fiber and vitamins and minerals that are in the peel and that great green color. I peeled it and cut them into rounds and then lined up the rounds and cut them vertically, turned them, cut them horizontally to make a nice fine little diced piece. So the other ingredients for our recipe our 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Make sure you get the plain. 1 teaspoon of dried dill. 1 teaspoon salt. 1 clove of garlic. And I've got a fresh lemon to make 1 tablespoon lemon juice. I have washed our lemon and our cucumber before we started. So we're going to add about a teaspoon of salt to our cucumber and kind of let that hang out for a few minutes while we prep our other ingredients. Cucumber is very high in water, and that's why it helps us with hydration. That's why it tastes so good in fruit-infused water. I'm gonna mix that up to kind of draw some of that moisture out so that our dip doesn't get too watery. And once I've got that mixed up, I'm going to work on my garlic and my lemon juice. So 1 clove of garlic, and it just depends how much garlic you like. This is a pretty big clove. I separated it from the bulb, and now I need to get this papery skin off the outside. And to do that, I'm gonna set it down on my cutting board, place my knife on top, and with the heel of my hand, smack it, and that papery skin comes right off, and then we're ready to chop our garlic. You could definitely use dried garlic powder, not salt. We don't want to add any more sodium. Or if you have the bottled kind in your refrigerator, you could use that as well. So I've got my clove of garlic. I'm going to remove my tough little end, cut it into ovals, and then line those up. Keep the tip of your knife down on your cutting board, and I'm just gonna keep moving it around. Sweep it off your knife, pile it up, and keep chopping until you've got the size that you want for your recipe. So I've got my garlic clove ready to go, and now I'm going to juice my lemon. And remember, even though I'm not eating the outside, I did rinse this really well under running water because my knife is going to go through it, and I don't want anything that's on the outside going down into the part that we are going to consume. To loosen up the juice in our lemon, I'm going to just kind of roll it around on my cutting board, and that just helps to release some of the juices from the pulp. And then I've got my juicer, a couple spins of that, and this is nice because it's got measuring on the side. So let me peek at that and see how much juice that is. Almost 1 tablespoon, not quite. And this also caught all of the seeds. And that's probably a little bit more, so I'll make sure when I add it, I don't add all of it. So we are going to add our 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt to our bowl. And usually when you think of dips, you probably think cream cheese, sour cream, and while that's all very good, that can be really high in saturated fat. And when we're using the Greek yogurt, we're cutting down on that, and it's overall a lot healthier, and this is gonna taste just as rich and delicious. So I've got my 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. I'm going to add my clove of garlic that I have chopped up nice and teeny tiny. A teaspoon of dried dill. Now, if you were to have fresh dill on hand, you would use a tablespoon. So when you go from a fresh herb to a dried herb, you lower that quantity. So we're gonna add that. And add our tablespoon of lemon juice. Just gonna peek at it. Incorporate that. Once your yogurt mixture is all mixed together, I'm going to check on my cucumber, and with a slotted spoon, I'm going to kind of drain those diced pieces and add them to our dip. This dip kind of has a Mediterranean feel to it. It would be good probably with some chicken or fish. And I'm going to just try to shake off as much moisture as I can so that the dip doesn't get too liquidy. And then incorporate all that cucumber into our Greek yogurt. I'm going to add a couple cracks of black pepper, and then after we taste it, you could add salt as needed, but remember we had our cucumber in the salt, so it might not need it. Definitely taste it first. I've got my cucumber dip all mixed up and I'm ready to dig in. I sliced up some green pepper and cucumbers to serve with it, and really you could do any kind of veggie would be good. Whole grain pita would be good, and I'm gonna scoop up a piece. That is so crisp and bright tasting. A really delicious appetizer or dip that you could serve this summer or anytime. Thanks for stopping by today and checking out our recipe for cucumber dip. I hope you also check out our webpage to get the full, complete ingredients and directions for our cucumber dip, and check out our YouTube channel for lots of videos. Have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for joining us today on Learn, Grow, Eat, Go. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.
And that, my friends, brings us to the close of Season 3 of Energy Express. We've had such a good time this year, had so much fun, and learned so much stuff, met so many interesting people. Thanks to each and every one of you who watched and played along with us. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your year. And until next time, I'm your host, Zach Harold, saying goodbye.